Okay, so let's go over our skill review. Look at the points on the number line. Which of the values are opposite? Explain your reasoning. Remember, opposites are the same distance from 0. So A and E are both equally 4 away. So I would say A and E are 4 units. 4 units from 0. So A and E. And then B is at 2.5. Oh, and D is at. B and D are 2.5 units from 0. But in opposite directions, obviously. So B and D, and then C is at -1.5, and F is at 4.5. So those are the only two that are opposites. Number 2. There are at least 6 tomato plants in Josephine's garden. She plants 4 more tomato plants, 4 more. Write and graph inequalities that show the number of tomato plants in her garden. So we know she had 6 and we have 4 more. So there's 10. She plants 4 more. Okay, so how would I do that? 10, 11, 12, and 9, and 8. Is 10 included? Yes. Write and graph inequality to show the number of tomato plants in her garden. Oh, okay. So it says there's at least 6. So there's going to be more. So we're going to go to the right. Number 3. Show the location of 3/4 and its opposite. And its opposite. So 3/4 would be before 1. So here is a half. This is counting by 4s. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So this would be 3/4. And its opposite would be the same distance from 0, just in the opposite way. All right. Number 4. An elevation of -12 m is higher. -12 is higher than -17, and an elevation of -17 is lower than an elevation of -14. Which set of inequalities is correct? This is showing that -12 is greater than -17, but this is showing that -17 is greater. So nope. Yes, greater than, and -14 is greater than, so B. This is saying -12 is less than. Nope. -12 is less than. Nope. If one part's wrong, then the whole thing's wrong. Number 5. Draw a line to match the situation on the left to the numbers that represent the situation. All right. The temperature is 20 below 0. 20 below. A hiker is 20 meters above sea level. So that would be a +20. The shopper spends, meaning deficit, -15. And a basketball player scores 25. Scores 25. So it'd be a +25. I did not use 15 or -25. Number 6. Okay, Regina, Karen, and Dexter and Frank are buying items in layaway. The balance they each still need to pay is shown on the table. Who owes the greatest amount? All right, who owes the greatest amount? Explain your reasoning. Who's furthest away from 0? Who owes the greatest amount? So we have -75, -87, -53, -60. Who has the greatest amount? Furthest away from 0 would be Karen. So I would say Karen, and why? She has the greatest distance. Distance from 0, which would be, so she owes the greatest amount. Right, number 7. Okay. Brandon wants to bring more than 85 tamales to the party. He already has 20. So he has 20. He writes an inequality, 20 plus t is more than the 85. Where t is the number of tamales he still needs to make. Which values are solutions? Let's just solve for t. It's a positive 20 is being added, so let's take away 20 to isolate the variable, and then let's balance the inequality. So all numbers greater than, 65? Okay, all numbers greater than 65. So 62, no. 68, yes. 75 is greater than 65. 65 is equal to, but it wants more than, so no. Is 72 greater than 65? Yes. All right, number 8. The table shows the monthly low temperature for several cities in December. The monthly low temperature in Toledo in December was -12. Which of the cities in the table, if any, had a lower December temperature than Toledo? Explain your reasoning. Okay, so it's got to be lower than -12. Think about your steps. If you are at the 12th step, are there any steps lower than that? Yes. Columbus would be further away from 0, and so would Youngstown. So explain your reasoning. So I'd say Columbus and Youngstown. So they're both lower in value, farther away from 0. What else could you say? They're further away. They're farther. There's so many explanations. They're farther left on the number line. Well, I guess I should say on the horizontal number line than -12, further left, or further below, further left, further below on a vertical number line. I'm putting that in parentheses because both of these would be true. Either they're further left on a horizontal number line than -12, or they're further below on a vertical number line than -12. Oh, both of those work. Number 9. The table shows the coordinates of some landmarks on the map of a state park. Which quadrant shows the ranger? Remember, coordinate plane is like a C. So this would be quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Waterfall, W would be, oh wait, what does it say? The table shows the coordinates of some landmarks. Which quadrant shows the ranger station? So the ranger station is in R, which would be in quadrant 2. Number 10. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good about this. Quadrant 10. She walks from the bus stop to the library along the route shown. Distance and the coordinate plane are the city blocks. How many city blocks does she walk from the bus stop to the library? I would just do the distance. She went from, both of these are the same, -4, -4, so she walks in a straight. All you have to do, she doesn't walk over any, she just walks down. So what is 8 minus 4? It would be 4. So she had to walk 4 steps down, and then her 4s are the same here. So you have to think about if she was at, this would just be like x1, x2. So if I have x2 minus x1, absolute value. If she's at 7 and I subtract a negative, it's just going to be a positive 4. That's going to be 11. Absolute value of 11. So 4 plus 11 is going to be how many total, what are these, city blocks? So 15 blocks. Is that correct? 15 city blocks. And then just think, I mean, if you want to just do rational thinking, how many steps does it take to get to 0? 4. And then how much does it take to get to 7? Another 11 steps. So there's 15 this way and 4 going that way for a total of 15. All right, number 11. The number line shows the location of point A. Simon wants to graph the opposite of point 4 on the number line. Okay. Will the opposite of point 4 be on the same side? Will the opposite of point 4, so that will be -0.4, be on the same side as 0 as point A? Yeah, because the opposite of point 4 would be right here. And it says, will it be on the same side as 0? Well, here's 0. Isn't it on the same side? Yes. Same side, because they're both negatives. Are negative numbers and are to the left of 0. To me, all right. Number 12. Okay, it costs $16 to attend the festival, where bottles of hot sauce cost $5 each. Marquis has $50 he wants to spend. Okay, so here's my inequality up to 50. He writes the inequality, $16, and then H is for each bottle of hot sauce, and it's $5. Where H is the number. Okay, which values are solutions? Let's just solve. You can substitute each of the numbers in. 5 times 5 would give you 25. 25 plus 16 would give you 41. So 41 is less than or greater than 50. 6 times 5 would be 30. 30 plus 16 would give you 46. And that also is less than 50. 7 times 5, 35, plus the 16 would get you 51. 51 is not lower than 50. 8 times 5 is 40. And then 40 plus 8 times 5 is 40. And then 40 plus the 16 is 56. And 56 is not less. So I'm thinking just 5 and 6. But let's go ahead and just solve it. Do our 2 steps. I want to isolate my term with the variable, so let's get rid of the one that doesn't have a variable. It's a positive 16, so I will subtract 16 from both sides, which will just leave me with 5h for 34. Right? I feel like I did something wrong. Okay, and now I'm going to do, since 5 is being multiplied by h, I'm going to divide it, and then I'm going to balance it on the other side, which would mean that all numbers, 6.8, I used the calculator. It just means that all numbers less than or equal to 6.8. So is 5 less than 6.8? Yes. Is 6 less than 6.8? Yes. Is 7? No. Is 8? No. So my solutions are 5 and 6. And then I showed my work. Okay, number 13. They are climbing down the cannon. Agatha is already at -12. Sergi is keeping watch from the platform that's 15 above sea level, directly above Agatha. Write an absolute value inequality comparing the distances of Agatha and Sergei from sea level. Who is closer to sea level? All right, well, it said write an absolute value inequality. So Agatha is at -12 absolute value. And Sergi is 15 absolute value. Which one has a greater absolute value? It would be 15. Or you could have done 15 on this side. I want to make sure that we realize that there's not an order. You just have to get your symbol right. 15 is still greater than -12. Absolute value. So the distance from Agatha to 0 is a positive 12. And the distance from Sergi to 15 is still a positive 15. So either one of these would work. Number 14. In the coordinate plane, point A is reflected across the y. Remember, this is the y, so it's going to go this way, like a book. To create point B, makes sense. And point C is reflected over the y-axis to make D. Yep, that makes sense. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, what is the order pair for each point? Write your answers in the blank. Oh, okay, well, point A, remember x first, so -2 and up 4. Oh, there we have the 4, so -2. And B would just be the opposite. It would be, since they went over the y would stay the same. Only the x would change, so I keep the y. I still go over 2, but to the right, and I go up to 4, the same place. And then C is at +4, +2, and it's reflected over the y-axis. So my y's would stay the same, only my x's would change. So +4 and -4. All right, let's go to number 15. Points, blah, 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 are three vertices of the rectangle P, R, S, T. Okay, so I am going to go and plot what I have. P goes over -6 and up 9. Let's see a space between 10 and 8, so they're counting by ones. So here's P, and then R is going to be over 3 and up 9. I really need a ruler so I could get this straight. And then, so this is R. And then S is 3 over, but it's at -4. And remember, it's making a rectangle. It only gave me 3, so I have to do the fourth. So the fourth is just going to be a reflection of S. So if it's reflecting over the Y, my Y will stay the same. 2, 3, I feel like over 3 and -4. So, I feel like it should be -6. Yeah, it should be in the same line as that. So this would be crossing over same Y value, but my X's will be a reflection of the upper point. So this would be T. And then 16 says, okay, 16, a drama group keeps a track of, okay, I just want to make sure and does that make a rectangle? It does. So I know I put it in the right spot. My T had to be on the same, it was a reflection of my P with the X, but then the S for the Y. All right. Number 16, a drama group keeps track of the numbers of the members at the end of each month. The table shows changes in the number of members over a 5-month period. Which statement accurately describes the greatest change in membership? All right, the greatest change in membership. The drama lost more than 12 members in October than November because, let's look, October to November, because 0 is greater than -12. That describes the greatest change. Well, let's look. Okay, so this would be 12. The drama lost more members in December than November. Okay, so that would be, let's see, December and November. The drama group gained more members in December than September. So 16, well, 16 is not greater than 20, so no, it can't be that. The drama group gained more members in October than September because 0 is greater than -20. Okay, keeps track of that. Sorry, I've lost where I was. Drama group keeps track of the numbers of members at the end of each month. The table shows the changes in numbers of members over a 5-month period. Okay, so which statement accurately describes lost more members in December than, so 16 is the drama lost more members in October. No, in October, they didn't lose any members, and they didn't lose more members in October than November, because October they didn't lose any, so that's not true. They gained more members in October. They didn't gain any members in October. They didn't gain any. Drawit lost more in December. They lost 16, and in November they only lost 12. So the correct answer would have been B.